Hi guys, welcome to WOF, and today I'm doing something a little bit different for a change. Instead of showing wrestlers for a change, I'm actually doing a bit of customization. Now, it's not a figure that I'm customizing, it's actually ropes for the new gen ring. Now, this one here is one I have already prepared and done. Now obviously the turnbuckles have got to be moved, but this is still cooling down a little bit from the heat gun. But this is a thicker rope than what you would originally get with the new gen ring. These are 4mm bungee cords that I got from eBay, and with these I am able to actually balance figures on the top rope, second rope, bottom rope, whatever you want to use at the time if you're doing a bit of figure photography. Now, let's see, I'm just trying to find out where I'm up to here. So this is the original second rope, been dismantled from the new gen ring. Obviously the turnbuckles I've actually already used on this one, so I've actually got to take another one apart yet. But basically I'm going to show you how to, well, basically measure this all up, and then I'll probably, well, I've got to dismantle one of them first, and then I will be able to show you how I put them all together using the product that I use. So firstly, if I'm going to do this, this is the 4mm. As you can see, it's much thicker than the metal rope itself. So I actually already made some ropes for my older ring, which was the Wicked Cool Toys ring. However, the Wicked Cool Toys ring is slightly, or should I say a little bit more bigger than the Mattel's New Generation ring. Therefore, I've got to make the ropes smaller, so I couldn't just put them straight on. And with the turnbuckles not actually being able to be taken apart, that's what makes it even more difficult, which is why it's such a process. So I'm just literally measuring this up now for my other rope. As you can see, that is how much overhang that you have from the new generation ring, from the Wicked Cool Toys ring compared to the Mattel ring when you're measuring up the rope. So it just shows just how much bigger it is. So scissors, obviously, quite easily just snip the tip of the rope that you're going to be using. Right, so now we have it all measured up, ready for the new generation ring. Now comes the process of dismantling one of the new generation ropes. I really should have untangled them before I started doing this. Oh my god, this is not going to go well. Oh crikey. Yes, as you can see, we are very knotted. Oh no, I've messed this up. I should have untangled this before I even started. Oh no. Oh god. Bear with me. Oh no. It's getting stuck even more now. No. Oh god. I just imagine people sitting there laughing at the fact that I'm trying to do this and I'm not making any progress. Ooh, hang on. I could be wrong. Is it? No, we're still attached. Are we still? No. Come on, play game now. Right. I've got that out of there. It needs to go through there. Oh no. I do apologise. This is going to make this video so much longer. Oh no. This is a nightmare. Oh god. Oh dear. Oh, oh no! Do you know, have you ever seen one of those advertisements where they have them tangled ropes games? And you sit and think to yourself, I could untangle that easy. Well, this is one of those situations where you actually realise, no, you wouldn't. Come on. Oh god. Facebook ads are having me off now. Oh god. I do apologise, this is going longer than I thought. Right, alright. I found the brass bit that I need to take apart on the New Gen thing. So I don't necessarily need to untangle because it should just pull straight out. So I've got a pair of pliers, and the only thing is with these is that these crimp tubes that are on these have got like teeth that sort of dig into the ropes, so you've got to sort of work them out while you're trying to dismantle the damn thing. You will get there. The reason I'm doing this ever so gently is that I really could have just snipped the rope, but I would rather not snip the rope, keep the original rope as a backup that I could just re-put together eventually if I really had to. Right, might be off now. I thought it might. Yep, there's one side off. And I will show you what I mean by the teeth. Oh, it actually looks like they glued them in as well. Oh, it's not a nice game to be playing. It seems like it's quite a hassle. Quite a hassle, don't get me wrong, but it isn't. So you can't really necessarily see it because I think I've actually broke the teeth off. But as you can see, there is some grooves. There is grooves on it as well. This one might actually be better to show because this is off the first one I did. And you can see that there is actually like a teethy groove. Alright, so here we go. Dismantle the rope now. Pull them out the turnbuckles. So you've got your turnbuckles on the own, and then you've got the hooks. I take the little bits off the I don't know what to call them. The bit that joins the ropes up basically to the steel ring post. It's a bit of padding that they have on the metal bit. I take them off because it makes it much easier when it comes to putting the rope together. So let's get Mr. Red Rope out of out of its turnbuckles. There's one. I think that's all of them. Yes, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. So there's the old rope off. I've got loads of ropes here. I've got the ones that I've got one that I've ready made, all ready to show, and then I've got these. At the end I will probably put a few, at the end of it, I'll spit it out in a minute. At the end of the video I will probably show some pictures of the ropes actually on the ring, because as it stands currently, we had a delivery today and it should have been 4 boxes. We received 2 boxes. So we were going to start putting it together. We opened it up and it seems that all the screws and everything for putting our items together are in the other boxes that have not arrived. So so they've all been put in my man cave because we've got no room in the bloody garage. We've got no room in the shed. So my man cave is the only place we could put them. So I can't actually get to my ring or anything at the moment. So at the end of the video there will be obviously some pictures of it all put together. So instead of boring you any further, let's get on with this. So which rope did I dismantle? This one, this white one, yes. So I've now got the turnbuckles, I've now got my rope ready cut. So first things first, I've got crimp tubes. I've got a box of different size crimp tubes, because in all honesty, every time I ordered crimp tubes for doing my custom ropes, you could guarantee every time it was the wrong size. Yet I ordered a 5mm, which would go over the top of a 4mm. It didn't fit, it was too big. I ordered a 4mm, the hole was too small. So God knows what size this is. Must be a 4.5 or something like that, I don't know. There was like a little leaflet thing that came with it that told you all the different sizes. I don't know where it went. That's just me all over. So without any further, in fact, I'll put the crimp tubes back actually, because I might as well thread the rope first. So if you are the kind of person that wants to be doing this, I advise, because these don't open, I could have literally chopped the actual pins on the turnbuckles, and that's what I was initially going to do. I was going to chop the pins on the turnbuckles and I was going to replace them with the Wicked Cool Toys rubber fittings. But after a bit of advice from my mum, when I showed her what I was trying to do, she said, well, why do that when you can just undo the rope? Well, that happens. Yes, James, the stalking eyes came out. I had to pause. I had to pause the recording and then obviously carry on. So, as I was saying, because these pins don't come out, Mum said, you don't need to do that. So, I took her advice. So, basically, just get your turnbuckle, thread it through here. Now, I do realise that people might be looking and thinking, but you haven't put the hook on. Yes, I know. But I'll just thread the hook onto here. What I will say to you, if you are the kind of person that would do this, you need to make sure that the hook is curving downwards so it goes towards the bottom of the W. And also each side of the hook, there is a bigger side, there is a bigger and a smaller side. What you want to be doing for this bit is threading the rope through the smaller hook, because the smaller hook makes it tighter, and then obviously the bigger hook is the one that hooks onto the post, makes it easier to take it on now. So I am threading, so you thread your rope through there, then literally you've got your rope attached, as you can see. Shove that through there halfway, and then shove it halfway through, and then pull it out the back, and there you go. Your turnbuckle is now in place. Then place your rubber parts on here for the covering of the metal, and there you go. That is just literally how you put the turnbuckles on. So going forward, I will show you how to do the rest. I've taken it down that way because this end has a better end than the other end. So again, same process with all four of them. You just thread them through. Small hook. Thread that through the middle. I know you probably can't really see that much. And then out the back. It's quite simple. Once you've done it once, it gets easier and quicker. Which is, I suppose that's the same with any kind of process. So put this, and you put your rubber on the end. Obviously again, same process with the next turnbuckle. Until basically you get all four turnbuckles onto your rope. So excuse the quietness while I'm just threading these last bits. I'm not a quiet person, normally. No. Sound like bloody Mrs. Doubtfire, don't I? Oh, it's lovely there. Oh. No, that's gone through the middle. And this one is decided to be a pain in the ass. Yes. And this. It's really. And a hook. I tell you what I have noticed. Now, I have had these are the old hooks off the Wicked Cool Toys. Now I could actually have replaced them with these, but what's the point? But these Mattel ones, mine seem to have gone a little bit. They seem to have lost their shine and gone a bit, I suppose, rusty. They don't show rust, but they've gone very rough, as if they've lost that metallic look from them. And considering the price that you pay for them, that you pay for the rings and everything, you would expect a bit better quality than that. But you know, that's Mattel for you. After all, they did try to get us to spend £500 for a WCW entrance, so it doesn't surprise me at the least of Mattel. Using cheap stuff and then trying to sell it at double or treble the price. That seems about right, doesn't it? Yes, and there's the last, that's the fourth turnbuckle. I had to pause again. So, obviously, I've got my last two rubbers to go on, because I actually forgot to put the third one on. So, that is all. All the turnbuckles are ready on the rope. Now, what I would advise at this next point, so that you don't ruin the turnbuckles or any of the rubber that's actually on it with it, put these down, pull these down toward the middle so that they're all together, because the next part I've got to use a heat gun. I just need to cut some of these threads off first, because it's a bit too much, because otherwise it clogs up when you start heat gunning it, and it basically makes it harder to get into the crimp tube otherwise. In fact, I'm gonna clip a little bit off the end of that, for the simple fact that the rubber that's actually inside that, it splits apart, because it's just like elastic inside, so it splits apart. So you might not hear me too much during this stage. In fact, I probably won't even say all that much anyway. So heat gun just on the end of the rope, just to sort of melt that little bit down that you've just been fiddling with. Please be careful, because it can set on fire if done too much. This doesn't seem to be melting. Come on. So I have now. Ooh, yeah, that's hot. What I will do is I will sort of press this down with the pliers. It actually hasn't melted the way I wanted it to be honest. It usually melts quite easily, but it's not really taking much effect. It's not even hardened up like normal. That's weird. I've not had that problem before. So hopefully that is now better than it was. So now it's time to get. I've actually got some of that shrink wrap. It's shrink wrap. I got it in different colours. Again, got it off eBay. So now what you really need to do now is get your crimp tube, whichever you're going to use, size which is going to fit the rope pretty much perfectly, and then looking for the end. What I do is, if I put one end of the crimp tube on first, get it down to the middle as much as possible, That way, when you crimp it, it's not going to come out. So I've got that right down to the middle. Now what I'm going to do is, because obviously I've got to join the ropes together, I'm going to get this measured up and put over the top, ready for after I use the crimp tube. So what I'm doing now is I'm putting a little bit of an overlap onto the actual rope over the metal, and then you've got to measure up as if that is already in the middle, and then whatever overhang that you want. So in my case, I am going to put an overhang of that much. So with that being said, literally cut that off. It might fling like mine just did. There we go. Red metal. Put this over the top. Put this up. You can move that just a little bit further down, just for the time being, while you get the other end of the rope in. Get the other end of the rope, and presto, that is in. This one's actually gone in easier than when I did the red rope earlier on. That was an absolute nightmare. It really was cracking me up. But this has gone right to the middle perfectly. Both ends. It took me a good 5 or 10 minutes before I actually started doing this video, just to get the rope into there. So as you can see, that is now in the crimp tube, ready to be crimped. So again, we get the pliers out. Obviously I'm guessing it would be adults doing this, because obviously you don't want your kiddies to hurt themselves. So what I do now is I literally put it halfway first, do one side at a time, push it down so that you're trapping that rope right in there, then pull it over, do the other side so that the other side gets the same treatment, get it in the right place, really push quite hard, because otherwise it'll just come straight out. So I'm hoping that this isn't gonna be an absolute arse to me now, and it just comes straight out. But as you can see, it's not moving. So now, obviously, you know what's coming next. You pull this down to cover the metal. I get it so that it's sort of halfway. If you can get it up to the light and you can find it halfway, and then that will hide the steel, the metal crimp tube. Obviously, this is where once again, the heat gun comes into play. Now, you could hold it like that, but then you've got a chance of burning your hand. So what I do is I hold it like that, get the heat gun, just keep heating it until it all melts into place, basically. There you have it. Your rope is done. As you can see the shape of the crimp tube inside. Now obviously these crimp tubes are not the same as what Mattel had on theirs. Because in all honesty, I haven't got a clue what I'm looking for when it comes to crimp tubes. There's actually that many different types of crimp tubes. It's actually unbelievable. Honestly, I've never seen so many different types of crimp tubes. Ever. Didn't even realise there was that many. You can get some that got like just a thing that hooks onto stuff and things like that. Mind blown. But these ones are just round things that you just put over stuff, and then now when you've first done this, that is going to be very hot. You do need to wait for that to cool down, because obviously you've had heat to metal, which is underneath the rubber plastic, plus the rubber being hot as well that's on top. So you're better off just leaving this then for a while. Just leave it, let it do its business, and that's it. So basically all you have to do is, if you're like me and you can be ready prepared, you can get some 4mm bungee cord off eBay, and I've made 3 for the old ring that I had 3 black, 3 blue, 3 white, 3 red, because at the time I was possibly going to swap, like do different shows on my ring and everything as a display thing, but obviously Mattel brought their rings out, so I've got to basically redo them all over again. I've got another 2 white, 3 blue, and 2 red to do, but this is just basically showing you how to do 1 rope, and as I say, I will include some pictures at the end of them all done. And honestly, I actually think they make them look more authentic. To me, the ropes that Mattel supply with the rings, they are too thin. They're too thin and they're too flimsy. These 4mm ones, they are so firm and sturdy. You can do so much with them. I've done pictures in the past of people doing suplexes from the second rope, basically having a figure balanced on the second rope, holding another figure in its arm, so you can imagine the height that it's got to hold. You wouldn't be able to do that with the Mattel ropes. If you do, I want to know your secret, because I have never been able to do it with the actual Mattel rope. Seriously. But I now will be doing these ropes for the Attitude Era ring and the New Gen ring. So I've got a lot of work to do. Yes. And like I say, I will show the results at the end of the video. If you don't see them at the end of the video, if I forget, because I know how dozy I am, if I forget, and if you watch the video and you do want to see the final result, I will probably will include pictures on my Instagram, which is WOF, I think it's _ World of Figures. There's a QR code at the end. You'll be able to find me on Instagram, and you'll see the results whenever I put the video up and stuff like that. So until then, this video is done. I have spoke too long. This is 40 minutes. People are not gonna want to watch. They might do though. So if you enjoyed the video and you do want to watch it all the way through, it's worth it. It's worth watching this one all the way through. if you are wanting to do some sort of customization with your ring ropes, because obviously it takes you through it step by step. And so, as I say, until next time, that is me done, and I will see you next time. I'm out!